So if Elche was the teaser trailer, right? Athletic Club was supposed to be the real test for this team for Barcelona, right? And did Barcelona pass this test? I think so. I think they passed it, and it's one of those games where it's a tale of two halves, right? Not really. I mean, they passed not because they scored what 5 goals again. No, not because everything was perfect, right? But because against a team that had weapons to take advantage of our defensive setup, right? Especially in a flick system, we basically took those weapons away. And it was just a few glimpses of chances that they had. And if tucked away, could have really had a different outcome on the game, right? But 2-0, yeah, I'll take it. Rafinha scores again. Fermin scores again. Pedri runs the midfield immaculately as always. Um, and we really needed that from a team that struggled in the first half against Elche. But I was glad that Rodri made his debut, and Athletic really finished the match without a single shot on target. That's a testament to our defense and also to poor finishing, I would say as well. And but there was one moment that really reminded us of the danger of the system, right? It hasn't really completely disappeared. It's a system where all the defensive backs, the defense has to be on point and in sync. So let's talk about what we actually learned, right? Because this performance told us a lot more about Barcelona than the 5-0 we we had against Elche. First of all, the as we can see here from FootMob, the lineup I had was Adeyemi starting back up with, of course, Rafinha up top, Low Fermin coming on the middle, of course, Yamal on the right, Pedri, of course, I had that right, and Benyal, I had that right. I didn't. I thought Christensen was going to start this game, but I was surprised Gerard Martin was in there as well. But I figured Kubarsi would start, and Eric Garcia would keep his spot, and Espart, phenomenal display today again. So bringing in Gerard Martin and Gordon made a little difference, but at the same time, I love Gordon's directness, right? And Gerard Martin still does not have a right foot fully because I think he made a one error and it almost cost us. It gave Esparta a yellow card though. If it was a faster player with speed, like you have a Dembele or you have a Doué or even some of these fast English players, they probably would have taken advantage of that. But that was a mistake right there. But still, before this match, I said I was gonna, it was gonna be a different test for Barcelona, right? Because against Elche, Barcelona could dominate the ball, right? Dominate territories, dominate the ball, and overwhelm Elche with possession, death by a thousand passes, and movement, right? But Athletic Club, this time around, it's a different animal. They play with intensity. They have the William brothers with their speed, albeit Nico is more faster since he's a little younger. That makes sense, but they can still, turn one bad play into a speed type counter attack opportunity. So, and these are players who have had their chances too in the past and hurt us. So, and they can turn a bad play and just sprint forward and score. And that's the exact type of opponent that can really punish our system, right? Because of their speed and directness, and to take advantage of the high line, just as we can also take advantage of their defensive lapses. So my biggest question before kickoff was simple, right? Could Barcelona control Athletics' transition game? without sacrificing our own aggression. And the answer for that was a overwhelming majority of the match, yes. Of course, there were chances here and there where they could have hurt us, but based on our defensive setup, we were able to get back and contain that, right? And Athletic finished with a total of 5 shots. I mean, that's a testament to our defense, but also poor offensive display. Total of 5 shots. Barca had 22 shots. That is crazy. Athletic has 0 shots on target. That's crazy. 0 shots on target, and we had 10 shots on target, right? And that tells you that this wasn't just a possession for possession's sake. We controlled the game with Pedri leading the midfield as he always does. And Kubarsi was excellent in reading the situations before they developed. There was a time where he came sprinting, and before Nico could get to the ball, he just kicked it off. Crazy. And Garcia was phenomenal. He had some blocks, crucial blocks too. Great anticipation in stepping forward aggressively and containing Nico on the right side, right? And Gerard Martin too. I mean, he helped to close spaces down. And I was not too. I mean, Bernal had a nice display as well, but albeit not to my satisfaction. But he helped protect the midfield as well, though, and also helped protect the defenders. Although he gave some balls away, but every time Athletic looked for that early ball into the space, right? They were already anticipating where the passes were gonna go to the fast players on the wing that they got, and also the William brothers. So, and eventually those William brothers were taken out in about the hour mark of the game. So it's it's fascinating to be able to control those two players, right? So those two players were the ones that really I was worried about. I mean, although we have had their numbers for the past few games, but I really like the way we contained them and was able to close down the space they can explore, because that with their speed and directness, space is what they need to survive. So, but the next part of it is that there was some warning signs in the first half, and I don't really I don't want this to be one of those reviews where Barcelona wins and suddenly everything went flawlessly. No, I was not too happy with the slowness and sluggishness of the first half, and that showed a lot because we kind of played the same way in the first half of the Elche game, some parts of it. And there was one moment in particular where we need to talk about where Sunset hit the post in the second half. Not good. That's a warning. A good team could have, a good player that could finish, could have put that away and get the game much more tighter. So Barcelona's high line is always going to live close to the edge because of the style we play. And Flick is not gonna. I like that style, but we just need to take our chances when we get it and score early and often. We can dominate 70% of the ball, and we can restrict a team to 5 shots. We can prevent a team from a single, we can prevent a team from reaching our keeper, right? But one single breakdown could bring all of that down, right? And that shot from Sunset could have made it 1-1 immediately and put more pressure on the team to score the second goal, and makes it a completely different conversation. It's crazy how a goal can make a difference when a team is playing well. As we were in the second half, we came out with some venom, but I'm expecting us to start fast in most of the games this season. The way we came out, if a team is able to score, they can just set up shop and it will make the game more difficult for us to score. Although we have a lot of firepower, we don't want to make games difficult when we don't really need to. So I'm extremely encouraged by the defensive performance against this team and against Elche, albeit inferior teams, we need to play better. We really do need to play better as a team from jump. I'm not declaring, the Highline issue is solved after 2 matches. No. What I would say is this, though, right? The rest defense looks coordinated so far, right? The defense that we have with Martin and Garcia and Kubarsi looks coordinated so far with Espart too, right? And the midfield was stopping the pressures that were coming up, and we were closing spaces down, making the field smaller and stopping a lot of transition before they even start. So, is that sustainable? So far, yes. But against a better team, we may pay for that early. And I don't want to see that in the first halves of games and then we change it to show up and play better in the second half. Why not just show up and put the pressure on from the start? It's hard to do, but if we're able to do that, yes, fine. Make the game easier moving forward. In the 37th minute, Pedri got the ball, and this is where the stats can sometimes, be kind of misleading. But before the defense understood what was happening, right? Pedri has already made eye contact, perhaps with Rafinha, and with Rafinha's speed, he was able to get behind the defense, and that ball arrived with pace, accuracy, and he was able to control that ball, even with slight extra pressure on the ball. A perfectly weighted pass. Rafinha controlled the ball with some pressure and was able to round the keeper, even with the keeper getting the hand of the ball, and still scored 1-0. Simple finish. Difficult, but simple at the end, right? I mean, he could have tried to shoot it from there, but he beautifully rounded the keeper, even with the keeper diving an extra foot or so. He just got a little tip on it, but got lucky to get back on the ball and score. And I mean, this is 3 goals in what? 2 games so far, and he's the unconventional number 9. I'm excited about that. I think his speed would hurt a lot of defenders, and him dropping deep to also make space for the left wing and the right winger. Yeah, I think he could score a lot of goals this season. I think if he does that, he will be in contention for a lot of accolades this season. So, do we need a number 9? Perhaps, but still, my priorities would be the defense. So far, I mean, this game is fine. Rodri came in and he had a nice display, a nice cameo. Uh, I'm sure he will be eased into the team, and the rotation would be in play as we saw the Champions League draw today. What a tough game! What tough games are coming up? It's gonna be crazy, but I am excited to see what this team has to offer. And in terms of player ratings, let's see what SofaScore says. Right, we got Espart at a 6.6. I think it should be at least a 7.5. I mean, he has a control. He has a very good control. Barcelona as a team was a 7.19 rating. I get that. Um, but Espart has a 6.6. I don't agree with that. I think he had a 7.5 game-ish. I mean, he had a yellow card fine, but he had to make up for Gerard Martin's error. Pedri, flawless. Definitely flawless right there, Pedri at 8. Gordon had a nice display. Bernal, yes, I think 6.9 is accurate. Garcia, I don't think a 6.6 is fine. I think he had a good he had a good heat map over here, but I think he also deserves at least a 7.3. Kubarsi definitely an 8. Nice heat map over there. Um, Fermin Lopez, absolutely beast. I mean, he scored, of course. Garcia, of course. I agree with the 7.4. I agree with that. Rafinha, I agree with the 7.9. I mean, he scored, so you got to give him better display by Lamine Yamal, though. I agree with this. Better display, and I think he would get better going forward as he get more comfortable and get more games under his belt. But overall, the team performance at a 7.19. I think the first half hurt that a little bit. It could have been a 7.5 if we had played a much better first half. But the game was slow. We moved the ball too slow in the first half, and that could hurt us if we play a much better team. But overall, I'm looking forward to the next game, and I just hope we start fast in the next games coming up because good teams would figure us out, and they are gonna hurt us if we don't play in sync and get that high line, which is the system, but it could also hurt us against better teams. But I was really excited to see how the boys played, and they showed a very better display in the second half. I mean, sometimes games are going to go like this, not every game would be, 5-0, 4-0, but the fact of the matter is we created opportunities, we created chances, and the goals will come. Do we need a number 9? If we don't get a good one, I don't think we should force the issue. Gordon Adeyemi came in with blistering pace. I mean, that ball he ran down the wings and crossed it in. I mean, he sped past the defense, the left back crossed it in. A misplaced clearance, easy tap in for Fermin, all done by the pace of Adeyemi. So I am excited for this attack. I think the goals would come from everyone. It'll be a concerted effort to score and replace Lewis' goals and Ferran's goals. But yeah, I can't wait to see what the next game brings. But for now, this is my take on the game. I think we still have to play better in the first half. Well, we need to start with with venom and be able to take the game to them instead of playing slow and let the opponents get comfortable. When once they get comfortable, they get a lucky or maybe a lucky bounce and get a tap in, and then they get set. The game become tighter and more difficult. Maybe that is what we need to light the fire. So, but we'll see. I'm excited for this one. All right, that's it. We will see what the next game brings. Talk to you guys later.